2017 Pointfest Weekend 1. It's Donny. We are joined backstage by Alter Bridge. Gentlemen, thank you so very much for your time. We appreciate you being here today.
Our pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for
So,
having us.
and we've had to have you sort of pinch hit a little bit extra today, too, with our friend Jonathan Davis going down. That's got to be the worst feeling in the world, though, when something like that happens and you know that there is legitimately nothing that you can do about it. That's the worst.
And everybody's like, screw them. They're not coming to the show. They're human beings, man. Everybody's a human being. You can cancel every now and then. It happens.
You can only push yourself so much. And Mr. Davis, not so easy on the vocal cords from us tonight.
Yeah, he has such a signature sound, and part of that sound is the way he uses his voice, which is amazing. So, I get it, and I hope he gets better soon because it's a helpless feeling as a singer.
I asked this to a band earlier, but I'm curious with you guys, like when you feel the illness is coming, when that cloud starts to hover the area, what do you guys do? I mean, are you hitting the vitamin C as best you can? Do you try to go to the doctor before anything really gets too big? Do you stay away from each other? Like, because I would think that could really legit screw up a couple of weeks on tour.
Yeah, it does. And you actually, I turn into Howard Hughes. Like, I literally, like a boy in a bubble, and wash my hands, 40 times a day and do everything I can to try and stay healthy. But it's sometimes, we're all crammed in a bus. Someone's going to get set, bring it on the bus. The bus is basically a traveling petri dish.
Right. Everybody thinks the tour bus is so cool. And it is. Well, hold on. A couple things about it. I do think that it is cool, but one, the petri dish would be an issue. And then the whole, I don't know the best way to say this, not sitting down on the particular part of the bus that everybody thinks it's cool that the bus has a bathroom. Like that. I've heard you don't do that when the bus is going either.
Yes.
See, and I would be a rookie. I would be that mistake, and you would be like, why the hell did we invite this guy on this leg of the trip? Right. That's no good. So I want to talk to you about, you guys are all involved in so much stuff. How far ahead do you have to plan out when you know you want to be working towards an Alter Bridge tour or when you want to record? How far in advance do you have to kind of get those schedules worked out?
Manager's already asking about the next record. It's like, dude, it's not till 2019.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, it's because we have, well, almost the whole band has another band outside of this band. So we kind of do a year and a half on with Alter Bridge, then a year off, or depending on Myles and Slash, a year and a half off with that. So it's got to plan well in advance, or else you don't want to put out a record and not be able to tour on it.
But you guys got into this knowing that you would probably have other things going on, or you kind of went into it knowing that there was going to be some finagling of the schedules, or that was going to be kind of a reoccurring thing that you would have to deal with?
Not in the beginning. With Alter Bridge, it was just all Alter Bridge all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it just kind of stemmed into something different where we're artists and we want to, spread our wings, do our thing. Absolutely.
So one of the guys that I am so fascinated to kind of follow his musical journey is a guy I know you guys know is Wolfgang Van Halen, and to me, being the son of Eddie Van Halen is like almost sort of puts you in this, I don't know, rarefied air. You know what I mean? Like in my household, the Van Halens like ruled and ruled all. My dad still thinks David Lee Roth is the greatest human alive, and he's a great guy to get into the argument.
Your dad is into Van Halen?
Oh my
That's
God,
awesome.
Oh man, and also too, what's great about my dad is my dad loves David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar, and you can see the legit split schism in his mind as to who is better. It really affects him. He really, yes, it is a real struggle. Yeah. But I always wondered, what do you see a guy like him doing in his future? Is he going to have his own project? What's he going to do? Because I know you guys are pretty tight, right?
Yeah, he's working on his own project right now. He recorded on my last two records, and now I think he's working on 28 songs with our producer Elvis, and it's taken a little while, but I think he's finally finishing it up, and then we'll see. I think he recorded everything, so now he's got to figure out who's going to play drums or bass or singing, and he's got to pick one or two.
It's so unbelievable. I couldn't play the triangle if you guys asked me to do that. And then when you talk about some of you guys that can play everything on your own record, that's unbelievable to me. One of the things that I know is a reoccurring theme in this latest record of you guys is you're definitely tackling some more political issues, but in interviews that I've read with you, Myles, you say you got to kind of be a little more clever about it. You can't necessarily be overt because you can turn some folks off, but you still want to have that kind of music out there. Have you had any issues with fans where they have maybe disagreed with something that you have said, or do you feel as though that you kind of put it out there in a way that kind of keeps that sort of that give and take, that really nasty to and fro with the two sides that we seem to have politically these days?
Well, personally, I haven't experienced anything. I'm sure it's there,
Yeah.
but if I've noticed anything, it seems to be opening a certain dialogue, and because we decided not to take. To get on our soapbox and say we believe this. It's more about the emotion, the frustration a lot of people were feeling with the current state of affairs. So I think that has been what's given us a hall pass in that respect.
Sure.
Because we're not saying believe this. It's just like we're frustrated, just like everybody else.
Sure, but what do you say, guys, about a band like? And obviously, we'll take Rage Against the Machine, not together, but Prophets is, and some folks won't go see Prophets because of the message in which that Tom and Chuck and all those guys believe in. What do you say to like those those folks that are turned off, I guess, by the message and can't sort of get past it?
I mean, that's your right. You
Yeah.
know, you don't want to, if you're not down with the message that's being conveyed. Yeah, why would you subject yourself to that? I totally get it. It's really difficult when you step into this territory. It's very polarizing, and as an artist, you have to ask yourself how you want to go about doing it.
Right. And now more than ever, people are just so
definitely.
unbelievably touchy. It does not take much before you're inciting a way more heated discussion than you probably meant to. It just put a lot of folks in a tough spot. But it's great to see though that the artists are still continuing to write about it and still, know that it's an issue that lots of issues that need to be dealt with there. So European tour coming off in the horizon there, June, July.
Yes.
June?
Yeah, June through, I think, July the 7th is our last show over there. We're about 6 weeks in.
And the Alter Bridge crowd in the UK and in Europe, do you see them as much as you see the American crowd, or is there a little bit more fever there because you don't get to them as much as you maybe see some of the guys here?
I'm sorry.
Well, it's never good when you're spacing out.
I don't even have a mic. I don't have a mic, so I'm not listening to the questions.
Oh, well, here, but you know what? Then I'll ask you a question. Check this out. I just bought Angel Dust on vinyl, the re-release with a whole new record of like B-sides and stuff that I didn't even know existed. I'm in a very Mike Patton world these days, and it's a really good place to be. I've never seen a guy that like can be so weird and so commercial, like all kind of at the same time.
He's brilliant, man. His voice is so. It's like it can do anything. Ever since I remember the first time I heard Faith No More as a kid, I was a fan. So.
And also,
I'm with
too,
you.
like track number 8, and I never realized, and we're going to have to beat this out, is called Jizzlauber, which I laughed at that at 41 for like 10 minutes. Sheer level of maturity. Alter Bridge, thank you guys very much for coming out today.
you.
We appreciate you being a part of the show, and we really look forward to seeing you
Thank
today.
you.
Right on.
Alter Bridge, we're backstage, Pointfest 2017, weekend number 1.